you were drafted to Raw, and then when Gronk's popping up on SmackDown, they're just all of a sudden like, Mojo's a SmackDown wrestler now. Like, what conversation went on there to be like, well, Mojo and Gronk are boys, so now Mojo's a SmackDown guy?
So yeah, I was on Red, and then we had this idea. Me and Rob were setting up something big, and it was going to be really cool stuff. And I'm hoping later in my career, whether it's in WWE or somewhere else, we still get to do what we had in mind. But the world shut down and the pandemic happened, so we didn't get to follow through with it. And of course, he went back to football. He had a great offer there, but yeah, I was like a heel on Raw, and then all of a sudden I show up on SmackDown and I'm magically old, stay hyped, babyface Mojo, and I was just like, this is confusing. And then we ran the bit with Rob until he went back to football, and then I was overnight a heel again. I was like,
What were your thoughts about his dance moves during his first entrance?
Loved it. I mean, that's
so
Robbie G to a T. He's such an idiot, but I love him for it. I mean, I'm the same way. Like, it would have been more fun if the fans and everything were there. SummerSlam was supposed to be in Boston that year, so that can tip you off a little bit.
I do love that he's just like, Florida, huh? Think I'll stay.
Yeah, right.
It's playing football again. I just think I might go back and win another Super Bowl or something. Like,
Bro, we were trying to get him to go to Tampa Bay back in like 2012 because he had this ridiculous home at the Yacht Club in Tampa, which I didn't want to move into because I was like making a starting NXT salary, so I was broke as hell, and I was scared I would like just break everything in there and be able to pay for nothing. He convinced me to move in, but we used to throw bangers there for like the FCW roster and stuff. You could ask some of the boys about those, but yeah, man, we were trying to get him to come to the Bucks back then so we could keep the house and stay there and whatnot. But hey, fast forward years later, he's back, so it's all good.
Were you there when Vince was talking him into doing the dive at WrestleMania and then did it himself?
Yeah, man. So I think other than like Tom Brady and his agent, like I was the only one that knew that he was really going back to football. I mean, maybe a couple of his family or whatever, but we're literally on the bus. Drew Rosenhaus is calling, Brady's calling, like he's trying to figure out his life. And they come up to me and they're like, we're going to have Rob jump off the ceiling pretty much. And we're going to have some NXT guys who just got here catch him. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, absolutely not. This guy has zero training. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's probably crazy enough to accept it on a whim without thinking. I was like, I got to stand up for my buddy here. I'm the one that brought him in. So they pretty much write it into the script without asking him at first. And then, Matt Bloom came up to me. He's like, dude, I got like 15 guys from NXT all over 6'3". We'll have an army there to catch him. We're going to get this done. And I was like, Matt, he can't do this. I didn't want to spill the beans and tell everyone he was getting ready to go back to football. I didn't know how to say it without making either of us look bad. So we're standing there, and I was like, look, man, it's your call. It's a lot of guys. They're going to be there. I will not drop you. I'll be right in the front. If you short it, it'll be just me. I got you if you want to. If you don't want to do it, tell me. I'll get you out of it. No problem. It's on me. Don't worry. And then we're literally having this conversation, and then, Vince comes out and he's like, doing the whole Vince thing.
Let's show him how to do it. One of those.
It's super easy, Rob. Watch, I'll show you right now. And he literally pulls out his money clip and his phone, and he hands it to me, and he just walks up there without any hesitation and just jumps off on the crash pad, which, mind you, is 10 times worse than having 15 giants catch you, because you actually have to fall to the ground with the crash pad. And he does it, and I looked at Rob and I was like, well, you got to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay? And he knew. So he went for it. But man, what the hell? It was pretty crazy.
Oh, that was when I saw the I had heard the story, obviously. And then when I saw the footage, I was like, That's more than I expected. Like, I thought, like, Vince was caught by people, too. And then when the footage surfaced, I was like, oh, no, he just took the spot. I was like, man, he's 70-something.
Yeah, I mean, they always say he won't do anything he's not willing to do himself. But I can tell you, too, those heights sometimes, man, they might not look that high on TV, but when you're up there, it feels 10 times higher. So hats off to the both of them.
What kind of interaction did you have with Vince separate of that? Did you talk to him much? I mean, I know in recent years people say it's become a little bit more difficult to have conversations with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been known to have an open door policy, you know, but at the same time, I never wanted to be the guy that was knocking on his door every week, over pitching, complaining. I never wanted to be that guy. So anytime I went to meet with Vince, it was either because I had a great idea that I thought was feasible. I feel like people go pitch him these ludicrous ideas that have no shot of coming through. Or, you know, like if we had to talk like, you know, contract negotiations or anything like that. So, I mean, I'd probably try and maybe pop in there once a quarter, maybe, I don't know, just depending on how it would go, just to follow up. Of course, you'll talk to him, you know, after a match briefly and gorilla, and, you know, he'll keep you posted with updates or feedback or whatnot. But yeah, I know there's a lot of guys that are scared to go in there and talk to him. And I know there's a lot of guys that maybe go in there too much, but yeah, finding that happy balance is sometimes tricky.